a number line from -1 to +1 and divided it like this, okay? Before I can place these numbers, when I look at the questions up here, what do you notice? They are what?
Fractions.
They are fractions, but the number line is
Decimals.
decimal. So what do we want to do?
Put them into decimals.
Yeah, let's put them into decimals, okay? So what is 4/5? 0. Guys, if you didn't do that, there's no way you could have solved this formula.
0.75.
No?
No, it was 0.9.
Guys, are y'all doing the work? 4 divided by 5.
0.8.
Thank you. It's 0.8. Okay? The opposite of -1 is +1. The absolute value of 1/2, well, what is 1/2 as a decimal?
0.5.
0.5, and then we want the negative of that, so that would be negative 0.5. And then this is the absolute value of -3/4. Well, -3/4 would be 0.75, and then the absolute value of that would just be 0.75. And then -1/4 would be negative what? What's 1/4? 2/5. Guys, those are all benchmark fractions, and honestly, you need to know those in your head. Okay? If you had to work out the first one, that's okay, but eventually you're going to know that fifths are all 20. It's 2.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. Okay? All right. So now, let's plot them. 4/5. Where would it go? Between 0.5 and 1 whole, right? Somewhere about here. We're going to put it with its original number. Okay? The opposite of -1 was 1, so we actually have a dot for that, right? So we're going to, again, put it back in its original form. -0.5, where does that go? On the dot, right? Right here. And then 0.75, where would that go? Somewhere over there. I need y'all to be a little more specific. Yeah, between 0.5 and 4/5, because remember, this is 0.8, so 0.75 would be just a little bit in front of it, right? So then that would be the absolute value of -3/4. And then we have -1/4, -0.25. Where does that go? Between and 1. So 0.25 should go here. Come on, guys.
Between 0 and 0.5.
So here?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So that would be -1/4 should have gone right there. Okay? Guys, if y'all are still having trouble with that, we're going to need to come in for tutorials, please. This is on your quiz on Wednesday. It's not going away. Okay? All right. Now, you should have picked up the notes from the back, but let's just remember, on Friday, we plotted on the coordinate plane. Remember? We said things like you have to run before you can climb, different things, right? Well, now you don't have to follow anything. How would we plot that number? 2.53. How would you do that? Tell me what to do. Tell me, Katie, tell me.
You go and go inside the box.
I'm going to start at the origin, and then what?
Go right.
How many?
2.
2?
Yeah. And then go.
Yeah, I need to go halfway because it was 2.5. And then up to the 3. Okay? Is this any different than what we learned on Friday?
No.
What's the only new piece? There's now a decimal, because if you look at our objective for today, it says we can read and plot rational numbers on the coordinate plane. So it's exactly what we learned on Friday, but now we're going to throw in decimals and fractions. That's it. Okay? What do you think? Think you can handle it?
Yeah.
I think so too. All right. On the next page, well, which is your first page, sorry guys. Down here, we're going to do a few of these, all right? We're just going to do A, C, and E. We're going to do those with me, okay? It says to plot and label it. So tell me how to do -5, 1. The origin is kind of hard for me to see, so I'm actually going to put a dot on my origin. It's just hard for me to see it. Okay? That's right. I'm going to go to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what? Up 1, right? And this is letter what? A. It told me it was letter A. Okay? So check, we did that. C. C is 2, 4. Tell me how to do it. And then up 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a dot. And that's letter C. I want to hear from that far side of the room over there. How do we do E? Well, first I've got a problem here. What's that? Yeah, 9 over 2. What does that actually mean? Sorry. Well, what does it mean? 9 over 2 is the same as 9 divided by 2, which would be 4.5. So that's the first thing I would do is come down here and rewrite that as a decimal. So 4.55, again, starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a half, and then up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should go right there. That would be letter E. Does everybody understand how to do those?
Yeah.
Okay. The next section says to write the coordinate of each point, meaning letter M is here. So now we want to name it. So first, let's start at the origin. We're going to the left, which tells you that the first coordinate is going to be what?
Negative.
Negative. Whoa. What happened there? That was weird. The first point is going to be negative. Okay? So let's see. How many negative? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 4. Perfect. Then we're going up. So negative or positive? Positive, and it went positive 1, positive 2, 1, 2, 2.5. Well, I mean, a half would be right there.
2.2.
Yeah, I would think maybe a quarter, half a quarter, something like that. So let's call it 2.5. Or no, I'm sorry. 2. How about 2 1/4? Because it's not quite half, or 2 1/3 even. Okay, it's not going to be exact because we don't know. Because they didn't divide it anymore, it's not going to be exact. That's okay. All right. Letter O. Where's letter O? Here it is. It's down here. I don't know why mine didn't show up. Letter O. Start at the origin. We're going to the left, so that tells you negative 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's going down. What does that tell you? Also negative. And how many negatives did it go? 3. Okay. How are we doing? Okay. Let's do. Is this Q right here? That's hard for me to see. Is that Q?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Q. Okay. First, we're starting in the origin. I'm going to the right. And it went 1, 2, 3, 3.5. I agree. 3.5, comma. And then how many from here is it going up? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.5.
I agree. I think 4.5. Okay, guys. Any questions about how to do either of those? Okay. And then the last chunk down here just says what quadrant will they be located. Let's do ourselves a little sketch right here. Everything in quadrant 1 is what? Positive, positive. What's over here?
Positive, negative.
Negative, positive. What's down here?
Negative, negative.
Negative, negative. What's here?
Positive, negative.
Hey, you guys remember that Friday. Good job. So, looking at the first one, do I care that they're decimals and fractions?
No.
No, I just care that this was positive, negative. Positive, negative is what quadrant? 4. That's right, because when we name them, remember the big C? We start here. This is 1. What's this? 2, 3, 4. Okay? How about negative 5, 0? Uh-oh. It's not a 0. So where would it be? We would go negative 5 and then stop. So that would be on the axis. Or it's not in a quadrant. Okay? We'll do one more. positive, positive. Where's it go? Quadrant 1. Okay? Okay, does anybody have any questions? Do you feel confident that you could finish this page with your table group? Yeah, and then we'll go over it together, okay? And if you're at home, pause the video. Which my thing, pause it, yeah, my thing moved over here for some reason. Oh, your thing, my recorder. Okay, so go ahead and check if you're at home, check the bottom, and check the graph. Pause as necessary. Guys, does anybody have any questions? Anything I need to fill in? Okay. I asked you to have out that other piece of paper, right? Okay. So, what I want you to do on your piece of paper, please.